good, BFM? This is Big Tone coming at you from Big Tone Productions, Beats and Feasts. You know what time it is. It's time for another cooking video. And today, we're going to do one of my favorite little snacks that I like to make. I call it a teriyaki chicken wrap. It's a fun little, it's a fun little lunch that you can make. A little healthier than what I would normally do. But hey guys, if you like the video, make sure you sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And if you like it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, make sure you share the video. Let's get started with the teriyaki chicken wrap. Alright guys, so the supporting cast is as follows. Looks like there's a lot of stuff here, but there's really not. It's really simple. So as far as my protein, you guys know, I'm using chicken. I'm using 2 chicken breasts and chicken thighs. Thighs to give it a little bit more of a tender bite. So that's basically my protein. I'm gonna set this aside so you can see the rest. And this is basically a red onion and cabbage pickle that I pickled in red wine vinegar. You can do this if you want to, but this is just going to be a topping. That pickle flavor and that tartness brings out a lot of flavor to the wrap. So as far as the teriyaki sauce goes, here's the ingredients. Cup of water, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar packed. I'm going to use a little bit more than 1/3 of a cup, just because I want mine to be a little bit sweeter. A 1/2 cup of soy sauce is here. This is a 1/3 cup of honey. Alright, and then we got some ginger and some minced garlic. Now I am going to also use a little bit of cornstarch to thicken this up a little bit. So some more of my toppings. I got some shredded cheese here. You use whatever kind of cheese you want. I got some tomatoes cut up. And this is the wrap that I'm using. You can use all kinds of different wraps, but I'm using this sun-dried tomato basil wrap. Like I said, a little healthier than what I normally do. So enjoy it for this time. And then for the chicken seasoning, salt and pepper, you know how I get down, pink Himalayan, and some cracked black pepper, some Lowry seasoning salt, and some garlic powder. And a little bit of butter to keep that chicken nice and tender as we cook it. Now as we cook this, we're going to be cooking it on the Steelmadeusa griddle. I'll talk about that here in just a second. But let's get started putting together the sauce first of all. Alright, so we're over here at the stove. I got my little saucepan here. And this is what we're going to mix our sauce in. The most important part of making anything that you do Asian is a quick cook. So you got to have all your ingredients readily available to use. So the first thing I'm going to add is I have a cup of water here. I'm using about 1/2 of it first. Set that aside. We're going to put in our 1/2 cup of soy sauce. We're going to put in our 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And I'm going to grab a little bit more because, like I said, I wanted it a little bit sweeter. You can use a little bit more brown sugar, or you can use a little bit more honey. I'm choosing the brown sugar today. Just a tad bit more. Alright, I'm going to add my 1/3 cup of honey here. Let's get it all out. There we go. Gotta get it all. Honey's too expensive. Alright, and we're going to use just a pinch of, I'm using a squeezable garlic. You can use fresh garlic if you want, but I'm using about a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. There we go. And then I'm going to be using about a whole teaspoon of minced garlic. And if I said those backwards on the video, I apologize. Ginger, I added first, then I added the garlic. So about a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger and a whole teaspoon of garlic. So we're going to heat this up and bring it to a nice little simmer till everything gets nicely incorporated. Then I'll be doing my cornstarch to thicken it up. I brought it to a boil and then I brought it back down to a little bit of a simmer. I'm going to bring it back up to a nice little small boil. I encourage you guys to taste your sauce as you go along to see what kind of sweetness you have and if that's what you like. I tasted mine, it's perfect. So now I'm going to thicken it up. So what I'm using is the rest of the water that I have, about a half a cup, and about 2.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. Maybe a little bit more, but we'll thicken it up and see how thick it gets. You gotta wait till it comes to a little bit of a simmer or a boil, and then you stir and whisk at the same time. Stir and whisk. I'm pouring whisk at the same time. Alright, so we're gonna bring this back up to a nice little boil. Let's see how thick it is. For this, I want it to be a little bit thicker than I would normally have for another application. So I may add just a little bit more cornstarch to it. But let's see, once it starts to boil, then you can really tell how thick it's going to get. And make sure you start your slurry off in cold water. If you don't start it in cold water, you put it in hot water, it's going to start to clump up on you. And you don't want that. Alright, I'm going to go in for another little taste. See where we're at. Oh yeah, that's perfect for me. Nice sweet. This is a sweet teriyaki sauce. And look how thick it's getting. Told you. And this is kind of like the thickness that I need here. Alright, so I'm going to take this off the stove here for a second. I'm going to set it with my Steelmadeusa griddle. As you can see, I got my Steelmade griddle here on the stove. And if you want one of these, all you have to do is go to the first link in my description. Click on the link. It'll take you to the website for Steelmadeusa griddle. You buy one, you use 5 big tone, the number 5 big tone as your checkout code, and it'll 10% off. And I love it, guys. You guys, if you've been watching my videos, you know I use this all the time. So we're going to start with our chicken. I'm going to grab my chicken breasts. These are boneless and skinless. Or sorry, this is my chicken thigh. Put these two on back here. And I got my chicken breast. Put these on up here. And I'm sorry, I have 3 chicken breasts here, but they were cut in half. So right away we're going to season this up. Pink Himalayan sea salt. Some black pepper. Excuse my arm, guys. A little Lowry seasoning salt. And then we're going to hit it with a little bit of garlic powder. When I flip these over, I do the same thing on the other side. We're going to give these a chance to cook here a little bit. As you can see over here, I got my teriyaki sauce on the Steelmade as well. Just keeping it hot. It'll thicken up probably more than I want. I might loosen it up with maybe a little 1/4 of a cup of water or something like that. Alright, so I flipped the chicken breast over. Put a little bit of salt on it. A little bit of black pepper. I'm going to let the chicken thighs cook a little bit longer on that back eye. A little seasoning salt. And some garlic powder. Just like I did on the other side. Alright, so we're going to get those cooked up, and I'm going to flip these over here in just a second. Well, let's take a look. Yeah, it's all not quite there. Not quite there. We'll give them a few more minutes on this side. I'm going to pour about a quarter cup of water in my teriyaki sauce, just to loosen it up a little bit. It's got nice color on the breast there. Trying to get that same color back here. Take a look. It's almost there. Add a little bit more butter back here. Butter is flavor, baby. So the breast is cooking up nice. So while they're cooking, I'm going to cut them up here right on the griddle. Turn this eye down just a little bit in the front. So I got my breast cut up there. Now I'm going to add my teriyaki sauce to it. Alright, so we're going to try to get this into one layer, let it cook for about 2 or 3 minutes. Flip these over. Yeah, there's that color I'm looking for. There we go. On the chicken thighs, flip them over. Now I'm going to season those thighs on the other side. So one thing I love about the Steelmade USA griddle, you got your 4 eyes that you can cook on, change the heat the way you want. But the middle stays nice and warm. And that's what I'm going to do over here. I'm just moving it to the middle. And I'm going to move these chicken thighs down just to the first side. And let them continue cooking. Alright, so my chicken thighs are cooking up nicely. I'm going to cut these as well. And we're going to put a little teriyaki sauce on them. Ah, yeah, look at that. It's looking good, looking good. Alright, so I'm going to let those cook for a little bit longer. I'll put another tortilla on here, or wrap I should say. And we'll be good to go. We'll put this thing together, guys. So I got my wrap here, I got my chicken on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some of my pickled onions and cabbage. And these have been pickling for a couple days. Put those right over the top. Ah, it looks good, looks good. Grab a couple tomatoes back here. And some cheese over the top. Last but not least, I'm gonna touch it with a little bit of teriyaki sauce over the top. Just like that. Now we're just gonna wrap it up. Come in with your sides, just like a burrito. Wrap it here, tuck it under as best you can. I'm just gonna wrap like that. It's my wrap, guys. Let me cut it for you. Guys, no pun intended, but that's a wrap. There you go. Quick, easy, nice little lunch. Can't say you have to go out and eat all the time. But hey guys, you know what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that bite. Here you go. Let me turn it around for you. It's a wrap. Boy, this thing looks good. Let me get into it. The pickled onions and cabbage sets it off, guys. The teriyaki sauce, perfect. Hey guys, if you want one of the Steelmade USA griddles, like I said, go to the link in the description. Use 5 Big Tone as your product code. It's your checkout code. It gives you 10% off. If you like the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. Make sure you share the video. And hey, this is Big Toad signing off. Peace.